I met the next young lady, this captain, because she is, the executive?
Assistant, yes, ma'am.
To a female brigadier general, Army, Sutton, and her boss is leading the effort in the treatment of PTSD and traumatic brain injuries. And so it's kind of interesting that we should close here, of the four of us, with a nurse, because it was in the American Revolution that George Washington recognized the need to have women and went to the Continental Congress to get authority to hire women as nurses. And it was the Army Nurse Corps that was formed in 1901 that was the first time that women were officially a part of the military. There had been a few women who'd done different things through history up to that point, but it was the Army Nurse Corps that was first. So she is a member of the first group that were ever officially a part of the military. And you could say that it was in 1901 that the nation said that we want women in our military. We want women as nurses. And from 1901 through about 1955, it was only women who could serve in the Army Nurse Corps. And then it was changed so that men could serve not only in the Army Nurse Corps, but the other corps as well. Well, if you jump forward to where we are today, we were at the point where in 2005, when legislation was proposed to say that women could not serve in combat, which would have meant we would have had to withdraw most of the women in Iraq and Afghanistan. And the Army immediately said that the Congress couldn't do this because they couldn't operate without women. So in 2005, in essence, what we were saying was that we want women as soldiers, Marines, sailors, airmen, and Coast Guardsmen. So we are now more a part of the military than we've ever been. But it started with the Captain's Corps, the Nurse Corps, Army Nurse Corps.
Thank you, ma'am. I have to preface whatever I say with how humbled and honored I am to be here today with these leading ladies in our history. To be here and hear their stories, it's phenomenal and amazing, the power by which they've accomplished and brought through my generation's future in the military. And ladies, thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate it. And General Vaught, I appreciate finding a first for me, because I was about to say I'm more a part of tradition here on this panel than to be a first. And I have to tell you that I grew up in a family of military. My parents are both career military. My mother is a Vietnam veteran of the nurse. She's a nurse, Vietnam War veteran. And both my sisters both joined the Army Nurse Corps. And then I soon thereafter followed. I'm very proud of that tradition. I think there's something genetic that makes us want to be nurses. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I've had the fortunate opportunity to attend school by an ROTC scholarship at the University of Scranton, where I obtained my nursing degree. And then I followed on to Fort Sam Houston, San Antonio, Texas, and I worked on a med-surg ward there. And then I deployed with the 28th Cash to Baghdad, Iraq in September of 2006, and we returned in November of 2007. And that experience has changed my life forever. It's hard to really understand what you're a part of until you join something and participate in something as miraculous and as amazing and inspiring and humbling as combat operations. I have to say that the old idea of a front line doesn't exist, at least in Iraq. I can't speak for other places. And nurses, yes, predominantly still female, but there's a large increase in men who are now nurses in Nurse Corps across all services, not just the Army. They used to be kind of held back and on the reserve and more in a protected state, and now we participate right up there. We're also mortared, we're also taking fire, but continuing to care for our soldiers, airmen, Marine, and sailors, who are doing all the things that we need to protect our freedoms. And I have a very short history. I've only just joined 4.5 years ago, and it's been an amazing experience, and I love it, and I'm looking forward to developing my footprint in history and seeing what I can do for women in the services and the services in general across the board. And I've just been so blessed to be here and participate, and thank you so much for having me.
Now, to give you another indication of how things have changed, when they authorized the Army Nurse Corps, they didn't give them rank because the feeling of the members of Congress was that women should not order men around. My feeling is women have been ordering men around forever. And probably all those nurses just continued right on, ordering men around. And not only, and since they didn't give them any rank, they didn't have a method, because we use rank in the military to give pay raises and lots of things like that. So they went in at a basic $70 a month, and a male lieutenant would have been paid $125 a month. And this was at the start of World War II, was the pay structure, not when they went in 1901. And a male private first class in the Army got paid $71, which was $1 more than a nurse was paid at the start of World War II. So, and they didn't have a pension plan for them either. So it was a different world than the world that the captain came into.